It's August 28th at 5:30 PM, and the Air Board of Health meeting will be called to order at 5:31 and 45 seconds. First item on the agenda is public input. We have no public present. What's that?
I got nothing.
You got nothing.
There's no public input. The next item on the agenda is old business, and the first item is just an update on 17 Taft Street. The permit was issued, it was signed and issued, and I think you sent it by certified mail.
I sent it by certified mail. I received my green card back. She has it. She even called and said, thank you for sending it. Oh, okay.
So there were 3 requirements that we asked on the 90 days to be addressed, and one of them was a pond that was stagnant water.
Yep.
And Ms. Maxon sent us photos and correspondence that the pond is dried up. There is no longer water there. It's not going to be a mosquito or a breeding ground.
Amazing, considering all the rain.
So
Yeah.
one of the items is taken care of.
Okay.
And then the other 2 items was the debris on the ground and storage for feed.
Yeah.
And we gave them 90 days to do that. And I was talking to the animal inspector, and she's planning on sometime in October doing her barn
Okay.
permit.
Yeah, it's about time.
So if it works out for Ms. Maxon and for Bridget, we'll do the follow-up inspections sometime in October, which will be like the 90-day period.
Makes sense.
So that's the only update I have on that.
Sounds good.
And the rodents on Park Street, I went by, the dumpster has been moved. There are rodent traps out, but the location where you could obviously see the burrowing into the ground is being mitigated. And I haven't heard any more that
Oh, good.
they've seen any more.
Okay. Is it, there's a pest control company doing that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Poor
that,
Julie doesn't have to do that, too. Jeez.
so that has been taken care of.
Okay.
Under new business, I thought we'd talk for a minute about the organization of the Air Board of Health and about the food permit process. So, because there is absolute incorrect information or disinformation, I, as a member of the board, and I don't believe that you would either, respond to social media comments. I won't respond.
Not the forum,
And
no.
unfortunately, most of the social media comments are absolutely incorrect or intentionally inflammatory. The Air Board of Health is made up of the 3 of us.
Yep.
Pam, Trish, and Steve. There's no hiding. Our meetings are in public. They're open. Anyone can come anytime they want. We also have a number at the town hall, and Samantha Benoit is here.
Our
and
names are listed
available.
on the website.
Our names are listed. There's no secrecy here. So I want to clarify that. And then the other part of it is that Neshoba Associated Boards of Health is a cooperative of 16 or 17 member towns, and they do the inspections for the Air Board of Health. They are our agent.
Right.
And the Neshoba Board of Health, their food inspector, Bridget Braley, has the authority to issue a permit for a food vendor outside of this meeting, and it would be ratified by this board if it came to this board. If a permit didn't come to this board, or if they didn't meet the requirements of Massachusetts general law, then the permit would not be issued. But the Air Board of Health, to my knowledge, has never not issued a permit that was completed to the requirements of Massachusetts general law. And the 3 of us that are serving on the board are at the pleasure of the public, and if anyone wants to vote us out and wants the job, go for it. But we are sworn to uphold Mass General Law when we are sworn into office.
Right.
So there is no ambiguity in terms of how the law is enforced or who is issued a permit as a food vendor. And I think further it goes on that our only interest in food permits are that they are safe. That's
Right.
it.
Right.
We don't care if it's a for-profit, a non-profit, no one is treated differently. Everyone
Right.
is treated exactly the same. If you meet the requirements of Mass General Law, you'll get a food permit. If you don't, corrective measures that need to be taken are explained. And if you choose to meet those requirements, you'll get a food vendor's permit. So, I hope that clears up any misconceptions in terms of how permits are issued by the Ayer Board of Health. The Ayer Board of Health, to my knowledge, does not have a director. I am the chairman at this time.
Yeah.
Trish is the secretary. Pam is the member, and that's going to change too. But, you know, if anyone wants to actually come in and understand more about how the board works, they're free to do that anytime
Absolutely.
that they want. And as a member of the board, it is absolutely true that I am out of state quite a bit, but I don't think I have ever shirked my responsibilities to this board or the town of Ayer in any way. I've never missed a meeting because I haven't been here. I have no intentions of doing anything different than I've done. I'm available by phone anytime. It concerns me that I'm being stalked by someone that thinks that I'm not in the town or in the state. That bugs me. But other than that, I've got no comments to make about social media. But I would welcome any clarification or anything that I missed that you'd like to add.
No,
I
just-
think that sums it up.
Social media is,
Yeah.
it's not the appropriate forum for
Right.
these things to play out. So really, I would encourage anyone, if you have an issue with the way Board of Health does things, or doesn't do things, or hasn't done things, or should do things, come to a meeting. We start every meeting with public input.
Yep.
Please, come, bring input. Better yet, run for office in town, run for
Yeah.
office, including any one of these offices. But it's a commitment. It's a commitment in time. It's a commitment in educating yourself. I didn't know a whole lot about what Board of Health did before I joined. So, you know, there are a lot of ways to educate yourself, but circulating stuff on social media does not educate anyone.
Commentary, and I'm glad, Steve, that you clarified the Neshoba Boards of Health,
Yeah.
the role of Bridget, the Neshoba Boards of Health, and our board, because they are not, they're connected, but they're not the same thing.
Bridget and the Neshoba people have qualifications that we don't have. Bridget is a sanitary.
Right.
She knows how to do food inspection. She has qualifications to do that. We are resident volunteers that are just
Exactly.
trying to do the best job we can here and uphold health regulations. So, yes, Bridget is the appropriate person to make the call as to whether the information she's been given does or does not satisfy the requirement, because she is ultimately the one that is licensed to
do
understand and interpret the regulations. And every food purveyor in this town that I have ever heard say anything about Bridget says that she is so helpful and will spend so much time helping you understand how to do things right, because that makes her job easier, it makes our job easier. So the point is to educate people. It's not to deny things. And
Yeah.
I don't know what the power trip thing is, but if there's anybody out there that thinks Board of Health is a seat of power,
No.
I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah.
But it's also important, I think, to understand that by having a Board of Health, and it's a requirement, it's a legal requirement in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts that you have an elected Board of Health if you are a town structure. And our responsibilities flow up to the state. It's to interpret and to sort of administer the state's health regulations.
Right.
It's not the town of Ayer's health regulations. Regulations that you have to have dishwashers at a certain temperature and that you have allergy training and whatnot, those are not put in place by the Ayer Board of Health.
Right.
They're put in place by the state. So every single town that you go to is working with the same set of
It's
regulations.
not something we're making up town by town, and
Exactly. And it has nothing to do with who
With
the
who-
applicant
who the applicant is.
Yeah, is.
But the
It's
number one,
always the same.
Yeah.
number one issue is food safety.
It's safe.
Right.
That
Absolutely.
Salmonella or Listeria
Yeah.
or whatever is not being something that hopefully someone can get from someone who's a licensed purveyor of food products. The other clarification is that we do license food trucks, but we do not have any jurisdiction into where a food truck is going to sell their goods. So if someone is having an event and wants a food truck there, as long as they're duly licensed,
Right.
this board has no issue with the location of food trucks. This board has no issue or jurisdiction as it regards to safety, public safety. What the town of Ayer prescribes as public safety is through the fire department, the police department,
Right.
and town manager.
Right.
We are concerned strictly with food safety as it relates to public health, period.
That's our rule.
And for for food trucks, their permit goes with them. So if you arrange for or hire a food truck with a permit, the Board of Health has no authority to step in and say, no, they can't go to your event. That mobile food truck or whatever it is, establishment, has a permit or it doesn't. And the permit travels with them.
Also, all copies of food permits for all restaurants, temporary and mobile, copies are kept in the Board of Health office. And they're organized by location.
Yeah.
And you can ask for them at any time.
Yeah, very good point. If there's ever
Yeah,
any
thanks, Sam, for
confusion,
saying that.
does
Yep.
someone have a license? Do they not have a permit? They can always contact Board of Health and find that out. It's very easy to find out.
Okay.
The last thing I have to say about that is I talked to Bridget. Bridget's not here tonight because there's a PFAS meeting in Groton. I guess there's a problem
Yeah.
with PFAS in a water supply system, and there's a meeting on that tonight. But she did make some changes in the food permit application that she's going to present to us at the next meeting.
Okay.
So that will be coming forward. But there's nothing else from the SHOBA. I talked to Bridget numerous times last week, and there was nothing else that was hot on the agenda. So other than that, we have the call log, we have the minutes, and then we're done.
Come.
Yeah. What kind of phone calls did I get?
So it just occurred to me, Benoit, are you related to the Benoits in Maine at all? No.
Possibly. My dad's one of 10.
I was
Oh.
going to say, those big French families.
And is it Benoit or is it Benoit?
Some of them will say Benoit.
Yeah, I was
Most
gonna
Yeah.
say, OIT is a wa. Okay.
So I assume that tobacco violation, that he took the stuff off the shelf for that one day, right?
As far as I know, yes.
And we had nothing back from the Tobacco Control Commission?
No, I need to contact them again. There's still someone who hasn't paid. And we're actually coming up on time for tobacco license renewals, so
Okay.
we may want to make sure they're up to date.
So that
Yes.
suspension, though, that was supposed to be followed up by the tobacco.
Yeah,
They would,
she said she had to
yeah,
go
she would
to
go there and verify.
They said they would send in a secret shopper.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yes,
right. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, okay. All right.
And the minutes look good. I'm
Yep.
gonna get those in the email. Nice minutes, Sam.
Thank you.
You capture a lot of information.
You guys' minutes are so much easier.
Really? Oh, that's good to know. Make your job a little easier.
Because I do them for the ZBA as well. And those can be very,
Oh,
And
a
tech-
little more convoluted.
more technical.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are the two.
Did you read the whole thing already?
I read the email. I read my email.
Sorry, I didn't.
No, I just finished because I was reading them a little
I
bit
do
while
my
we were
homework.
talking too.
Sometimes.
Well, if you guys are good, then is there a motion to
Yeah.
accept the minutes of
Read.
July 24th?
Yep, I'll move if you're.
Motion's made, is there a second?
There's a second.
Motion's
Second.
made and second to accept the minutes of July 24th. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There's a vote. You want me to sign this one?
Okay.
Any questions on the call log or
No, that looks good.
any bills?
we have no bills, we've had no mail, we
Okay.
have no permits.
It's summer.
Right?
I'm waiting on one person for an animal and fowl permit, but
Yeah.
he's been a little, he's talked to
Excuse
Julie,
me.
she knows about them, he needs the, abutters list in the assessor's office. Was missing a person
The
for a
new
while.
one? New one?
Yeah, a new one,
Oh.
so he needs the abutters list.
So, fall meeting schedule. So we're
Okay.
back to twice a month.
All right.
Are we still sticking with where we were, where we had set the September?
I don't think we set September, did we?
I thought well, we weren't supposed to meet in August. We had said we were going to come back in September at,
Yeah.
So the September meeting should be 11 and 25 for
11:25.
11th and the 25th.
the 11th and the 25th.
Oh, 11th and. What? Yeah, that's the second and the fourth.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Those dates, good?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
The only thing we had discussed before was election of officers in the September meeting. If you'd like to do the
Correct.
first one,
Yep,
all right. Just make sure it's on this.
you got it. If there's nothing else to come before the board, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Motion's made and seconded. It's non-refutable. All those in favor?
Aye.